All right, so this lesson is on how to graph quadratic functions by using a table. So this is quite easy with Desmos, but I want to go through the process as well. So we're going to follow these 3 steps, and then we're going to graph. All right, so find the axis of symmetry and vertex. We need to do that. We need to place the vertex in the middle row of our table. That's why you have an odd number of boxes, so you can put 1 in the middle and 3 on either side of it, and then you're going to graph it. And then so we have to graph our function and state the domain and range. All right, so we're going to put that in our Desmos over here. All right, f(x) is equal to -3x squared. All right, so we know that our axis of symmetry is going to be x equals 0. Again, because over here, that's where it is. That's the axis of symmetry. Remember, we can zoom in on it. It's the thing that cuts the shape in half. It is going downward. All right, but the idea here is we just need to figure out what the vertex is. In this case, it's 0, 0. So we're going to go in the middle here. Again, go down 3, the 4th one. You're going to put in 0, 0. Now, you've got to calculate the next few things unless you can read this box, which isn't so easy. I would just go above and below each one of these. So if 0 is here, you just do 1, 2, 3 this way. Maybe. Might not have enough space, but we'll find out. And then -1, -2, -3. All right, so now I'll just use this to help me calculate these different function values. So here's the trick. Since I'm plugging these in, you can hit F and then put in 3. And it tells you, all right, so I'm not going to be able to graph that one. That's way too big. Okay, but I'm plugging in my different function values. So now I'm plugging in 2. Gives me -12. Doesn't look like I can graph that one either, but we're going to keep trying. All right. Okay, so the next one is f of 1. Let's see how fast it does it for us. -1. Now, 1, -3. Okay, so I got to put a -1 in here. So all I'm doing is plugging in see, here's my function. I'm plugging in values of x, and it's generating values of y. So that's what I wanted it to do. Okay, so -1 is -3. That I can graph. -12 and let's do this one. If you notice, I'm getting the same numbers because the idea here is once you've done one half, the other half is a duplicate of it. Because it's U-shaped, it's doing the same thing, and since you figure out the vertex, once you get half of it, you have the other half. You notice this matches this, and so on. So I don't really need to figure that out too badly. All right, so now I'm going to figure out how to graph this. Since I only have really 3 points that are usable, the rest of them are too big, I'm going to just plot those 3. So 0, 0, then 1, -3, and then 1, -1, -3. And so it looks like, again, it's making that U-shaped graph like that. All right, so now that you've got a picture of it, you can figure out the domain part of it. Because most of you guys, you have a tough time with the domain and range, but not when you have a picture. So once you have a picture, okay, the domain, remember, is all real numbers. Again, funny R, or you can actually write all reals. That means any number works. And Y looks like Y has highest point again. So this is going to be the biggest Y can be is 0. So Y has to be less than or equal to 0. And that would be our range. All right. So we go through this process, and I'm going to try putting the table on the Desmos on the next example and see if that actually speeds up the process. All right, so let's figure out, let's punch in the next one. Let's see if we can do a table. I'm going to try that. All right, so let's see, x squared minus 6x plus 11. All right, so I have that. My vertex looks like 3, 2. So I'm going to put down here 3, 2. All right, that means I want to go 4, 5, 6, and 2, 1, 0. All right, and now I'm going to punch in my top 3. And remember, whatever I get for these 3, I just reverse them going the other way. All right, put in a 0, get 11. 1, 6. I can grab that one. 2, 3. Okay, so then whatever I've copied here, I then can put it in reverse order that way. And I should be able to graph those points right there. All right, so I can't graph 0, 11, but I can graph 1, 6. 1, 6. That's there. 2, 3. That's there. 3, 2 is right there, and then it's a duplicate back up again. Alright, and what's the last one? 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. There. Okay, there you go. Alright, so now I have a picture, and now I can answer my questions. Oh, first of all, my axis of symmetry is x equals 3. I already have my vertex, that's right there. Domain and range. Okay, so again, the domain is always going to be real numbers, so this is going to be an easy one. The range is what's changing constantly. Okay, so right now range looks like y has to be the smallest value because this is a minimum. It looks like a 2. Okay, so y has to be greater than or equal to 2.